All right. Let's start with some recognition. Okay, so these are the coaches that enrolled more than one coach during the week of October 22nd through the 28th. So these coaches enrolled 2 coaches during that week. Vivian Delgado, Siobhan Feeney, Nancy Nathan, a.k.a. Caroline Nathan, Marie Sardelli, Maria Carter, Erica Kinsella, David Chacon, Caroline Nathan, Amy Reelman, Amanda Downing, and enrolling 5 coaches during the week of October 22nd through the 28th. Eddie Cristofano, brand new diamond coach. I believe a lot of those coaches came. He had a challenge group that ended, and once that ended, they all signed up as either coaches for the discount or the business or both. Okay, how about the coaches that had these are the top 20 coaches for personal volume during the week of October 22nd through the 28th. So volume, your personal volume comes from your personal orders, and when your customers order from you, that's what creates your volume. So these are the top 20 coaches from Team Boom for the week of the 22nd through the 28th. With over 350 volume points that week, we have Amy Morgan, Stacy Wyrick, Alyssa Sardelli, Teresa Versetto, Reve Chantel, Michelle Graham. Over 400. What was that? Over 400, we got Jason Sidowitz. Over 400 also with Andrea Wallace, Justine Young, Lisa Wellington, Caroline Nathan, Nell Killeran, Ashley Feldenson, over 500, Tammy Haiti, Keith Unkst, which I believe is Joanne's husband, Cami DeCiccio, over 600, Melinda Hall, Francesca Calhoun, who's going to be sharing on the call with 630, Chris Bachlet, who's going to be sharing on the call with 635, Chris's mom, Terry Bachlet, with 645, and myself with 945. And I think a lot of that is just a lot of customers that have accumulated over the years that just all bought Shakeology on that same week. Okay. October Success Club. So these are the coaches that were Success Club 10 and above during October. So with 10, we had Michelle Racidi, Siobhan Feeney. If I'm like calling your guys' names out and I'm just like butchering them, which I know I am, can you guys just shoot me like a Facebook message and like let me know how to actually say it? Because I want to like recognize your real name. You deserve it instead of me butchering it. All right, Kim Williams with 10, Kelly Marks with 10. With 11, Brittany Dimmick and Jessica Plachan. With 12, Danielle Hills, who is actually Danielle Ann on Facebook. And actually, this is as of October 31st, so this might not include points you guys got the last day of October, but some of them. So Danielle Ann with 12 in her first month. That's impressive. Allison Squires with 12. Crystal Ladd with 12. Jenny Dollinger with 12. Megan Smiley with 12. Mary Beth Darling with 12. Teresa Versetto with 12. Andrea Wallace with 13. Denise Brown with 14. Lori Sanderson with 14. Emily Bachlet with 14. Morgan Brakenberry with 15. Eddie Cristofano with 17, Caroline Nathan with 21, Amy Reelman with 26, and Chris Bachlet at the top of the list with 32 Success Club points in October. Killing it. That's 16 people. Wow. All right. So just like we have done the last 2 weeks. We asked some of the Diamond coaches on Team Boom, asked some of their kind of like up and coming leaders on their teams to just share like their top tip for coaches and maybe like the one thing that's had the biggest impact or made the biggest shift on their mindset or their business. So we got 5 or 6 of them tonight. Chris Bachlet being the 6th, if he can make it back in time from his lacrosse practice. But all right, let's see if I can see who's on here. Let's start with how about Megan Smiley? Megan, do you mind just sharing where you're from, how long you've been a coach, kind of who your coach is, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, so I've been a coach. Coming up at the end of this month will be 1 year. My coach is Michelle Phillips. So I started and I was a success starter. So I started off with a boom. I got to Emerald, I think, in 3 weeks. Hit Success Club, I think, every month for 6 months. And then after Summit, I just was a little bit overwhelmed. I switched jobs. I had been in the same career field for about 8 years and then decided to change all of a sudden. So it kind of put a little hold on Beachbody, and then I got really discouraged after Summit. So I basically took 2 months off and told Michelle that I was considering quitting coaching. Obviously she wasn't excited about me doing that, so she told me to just kind of sit back and evaluate what I was doing daily and if that was in line with what I wanted to be making and if I was going to be hitting my goals with the work that I was putting in. So I didn't do anything for about 2 months, and then I started feeling guilty because I was still making money from my recurring Shakeology customers and then cycling from the coaches that I have below me. So I told her a couple days before October started that I was ready to recommit, and then told her that if I gave her any excuses to give me some tough love. So a couple of things that I started doing was just listening to the coaches that were having success and implementing those things. So like Ashley Feldstein sent me a picture of her whiteboard. So I went out and bought one of those and got that set up. I did a call with Caroline Nathan, and I had talked to her about how to text the free Shakeology customers, so I started doing that. Got back in my personal development invites and working out. So then last month was my first time hitting Success Club 10. That was really exciting. And then I've signed 4 coaches, including my boyfriend that I've been with for a couple years. And then I got 2 of my inactive coaches back to active. So now I am 1 coach and 1 Emerald away from Diamond. And at the beginning of October, I wasn't even Emerald anymore. Wow. I had so many people fall off that I fell back to just a coach.
Awesome. So what would you say like your top tip for a coach would be?
Definitely consistency. I would just get home after work and turn the TV on and not do my invites or make up an excuse as to why I didn't have time. The job that I had before I switched jobs, I was working 10 hours more a week than I am now. And so I'm not really sure why I thought I didn't have time. But I just started keeping the TV off when I got home until I got everything done. And now I made my own bat. So I make sure that I fill that out each day. And now that I see that the invites are working, it makes it a lot easier to just get them done and do my follow-ups and make sure that I'm closing the sales that I know people are wanting to get.
Awesome. For those that don't know, like a BAT is a business activity tracker. It's just a great way to like keep track to make sure you're doing what you need to do each day. I saw you glance to your right. Do you have it in your bed?
So yeah, I'm sitting in bed, but I've got my little whiteboard that I don't know if you guys can see that. Ashley had sent me a picture of her, so I went and made a picture of mine, but it's just got my downline and like who's Emerald and who I need to get to Emerald, and then my goals for November.
What are your goals for November?
Goal is to be Diamond by November 17th, and then I made an income goal of 600.
Nice. Awesome. So consistency. All right. So I guess that kind of rolls into my second question. You know, every coach struggles with consistency at some point. You know, like, I don't know if everyone knows this, but like when I first started the business, I was consistent for like you were for a few months. I was excited, and then I didn't take 2 months off. I took a year off. So just kind of part of it. There's always like kind of two start dates. There's a date you sign up as a coach, and then there's the date that you stop making excuses and you start being consistent from then on. So my question would be, after you said your top tips, consistency, like what had like the biggest impact, or what kind of had the biggest impact for your mind shift for your consistency, or the biggest thing that's impacted your business just in general?
I mean, Michelle would tell you I'm pretty self-driven, so I just decided that I wasn't going to make this an optional thing anymore. I knew how to get to Success Club. I just wasn't doing the stuff that was going to get me there. So I just decided if I was going to do it, that I needed to do it every day and not make it a part-time thing. And once I started doing that and started seeing that I was getting Success Club points every week. And then that kind of gets addicting. So I didn't stop at 10, I got to 12. And now I just want to keep going. So
awesome. Good deal.
Just like working out, once you see results, you kind of want to keep going. So once you see Success Club points, you just want more. Yeah.
Did it kind of change a little bit when you found some of those coaches this month that wanted to like kind of run with you?
Yeah, and like Michelle knows, I mean, I've been dating the same guy for 3 years. He's in the Army Reserves, and we haven't ever really, he's not into the health and fitness, so we haven't talked. I mean, he knows that I do this, obviously, and he sits around while I'm doing the calls, but we hadn't really talked about how I could put him in my downline and how that could help us financially once we're engaged and then married. So we had that conversation last weekend, and he was like, okay, go ahead and do it. And I mean, that's a changer right there. Just getting your significant other to like get on board with it.
Yeah. And kind of making it like about the two of you versus, instead of saying like, this is my why, this is my business. It's our business. It's our why. It's our future. Right. I think that helps them feel less left out and more a part of like the whole journey, which is great. Cool.
Yeah. I did a call at the beginning of the month with your mom. And she was just like, well, I mean, you kind of have to. He's Army, so he doesn't have to pay for it. This is how that's going to work. And I made it my goal to just make sure that I got him signed up. So
awesome. That was great. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Diamond by November 17th. There's 90 people on here. They're going to make sure you do that now.
Okay.
That's part of what happens when you make goals public. Sorry about that. But That's what you need, right? A little accountability. That's
definitely
awesome. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. How about Francesca?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So I have been a coach since February of this year. Amy is my sponsor coach. And I would say that I was pretty much all in from the beginning. I was that random person that just reached out to Amy and was like, hey, tell me about this. The script worked 100% on me. I was like perfect candidate, just yes, yes, yes. Signed up, and it just was what I needed at the time. I was finishing grad school and I just wanted a way to work. And then I just started to learn more and more and just fell in love pretty quickly. And I went right into Facebook invites. So I would say that I attacked my warm market pretty hard from the very beginning. So I was pretty successful my first like 6 or 7 months in the business as far as Success Club goes and getting some discount coaches and stuff like that. But right around, I would say, around like summit time, going into summit, and then right after summit, I started to run out of my warm market, and I knew that was coming. And I was just not quite getting the hang of Instagram yet. And so last month, and the month before, so September and October, I didn't get Success Club. And that was like a huge shot to my ego and just my confidence. And just like, what the heck, what am I doing? And so I would say the first thing that really affected my mindset and like helped me take this seriously was Summit. It was just a time where I like saw that this was real. I was able to see that my background in social work could be used in this job, and that I wouldn't have to sacrifice, that I wouldn't feel like I was letting go of one dream of social work to go chase this new one. So they haven't quite overlapped perfectly yet, but I know that they can. And so Summit was really key for that. And then I would say in the last 2 months, from not hitting Success Club, what I learned and what has really helped my mindset was to just run my own race, to stop looking at other coaches, to stop comparing. Several months ago, I think you posted in one of the groups and you asked, like, does other people's success motivate you, or does it like deter you or make you jealous or whatever? And at the time, while I was successful, it was really motivating. And then I realized when I was not achieving my goals that other people's success was not motivating for me. It was like making me like jealous that they were being successful, without kind of going inward and asking myself, like, well, why am I not? And what has changed? And so I completely unfollowed all the top coaches from Instagram. I unfollowed a lot of Team Boom coaches, so I'm sorry. But I just had to like put my blinders on to like my own target and my own focus. And like really, I anything that Chalene Johnson puts out, I listen to it and I watch it. And she just always talks about like knowing your brand and your tribe. And so I just really have been shifting to figuring that out and honing it down to like 1 or 2 things, 2 to 3 things, I would say. And just like focusing on that and really talking about that more, and just like figuring out who my avatar is and who I'm looking for. So that were like, those are the first 2 things. And then the third thing I think that really helped was I finally read The Compound Effect, and I'm reading it now. And just like the patience and just understanding that I am in this for the long haul. And so if I don't achieve like my star diamond rank, like, but in 6 months or a year, then that's okay. Like, I'm fine with that, because I still plan on being here 5 years from now. So I'll actually get there, and it'll be fine whenever I get there. So that has just been it, basically. And lastly has been just tracking everything. So learning how to just track everything. So those like months where I feel like, man, I did so much. Why didn't I get what I wanted to get? Or why didn't I achieve my goals? I can go back and look at why I didn't do that. I didn't invite enough people, or I didn't post enough about the right things, or whatever it is. So those 4 have definitely been my top things.
Awesome. That's great. Tribe, you like really honed in on like who you want to work with.
Yeah.
And stopped like worrying about what other people wanted, other coaches. You realize like this, you're going to, like we always say, be here 1 year from now, because this is not like an overnight business. It's something you got to be patient with, like you said. I like that you said you're going to be here 5 years from now. That's even better. And then when you like tell yourself you're going to be here 5 years from now, it takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like that difficult. It's a very simple business. Like if you're here 5 years from now and you're not like putting any time limits on yourself, you're going to be so successful 5 years from now. It's like insane. The only way you wouldn't is if you stopped, you know? And if you miss your goals along the way, start new ones. If you miss Success Club, who cares? You know, right. I love that. That's so good for people to hear. Cool.
Yeah, and I'm naturally a really competitive person. And so competition with myself has just been really hard. Just like, there's no like, yes, I have my goals, but nobody's telling me that I have to get there tomorrow. So that has really freed me up to just like take steps back and just kind of do my thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And then you're kind of like tracking as you're going along too.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with those tips, what would you say, like, was there anything that kind of happened, or any book you read, or any event, or anything someone said to you that has had like the kind of the biggest impact on your mindset or your business?
I mean, I really think like initially GoPro was really big. That really changed my mindset to it allowed me to see this as a profession. Like this is a career. And when people ask me like, what are you doing? I'm a social worker and a network marketer. Like I'm a social worker and a Beachbody coach or whatever. And I've been watching a lot of Periscopes from Christine Dwyer and Shalene and just some other Beachbody coaches. And I just see how like confidently they say like, I am a business owner with Team Beachbody. Like they don't shy away from it. They just throw it out there. So that really helped me initially just kind of take this on as like, this is a career and that I'm choosing. And then just compound effect, like I said.
Awesome. Great. Patience. Be here 5 years from now. I'm going to write that down. That was awesome. Thank you very much. That was excellent. Boom. All right. We're going to, hopefully you guys can stick around and we'll let these guys ask some questions if we have some time at the end. But let's see. Is Allie on?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. Allie, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, how long you've been a coach, all that good stuff.
All right, guys. My name's Allie. I am from southeastern Wisconsin, kind of between Milwaukee and Chicago. I've been a coach since March, and Amy and I connected on Instagram. Well, actually, Amy sent me like a very generic invite on Instagram. And but I added her. I didn't respond. I added her as a friend. I followed her on Instagram for about a year. And then I think I commented on another one of her photos. And then we connected on Facebook. I got into a challenge and decided to be a coach from there. So like I said, since March, I've been a coach. And I currently have 8 active coaches and 1 emerald. So I'm just 1 emerald away from diamond.
Do you like think of that now, like now that you're a coach and you know, people are following you and you're doing your invites, do you think about the fact that it took you a full year of following and watching Amy before you decided to do it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Does that like make you more patient with this whole process of being a coach?
Yeah, and I think it made me believe in it right away. Like I didn't sign up and I was kind of like, oh, you know, this might work, this might not. Like I watched Amy for a year. So I think it really helped me like have the belief right when I started coaching. And yeah, the same thing. I'm like, okay, I sat and watched Amy for a year. So the people that I talked to when I first started coaching, it hasn't even been that long yet. So I need to be here a year from now to give it time.
Exactly. Boom. Love it. Cool. So what would you say is your, like, besides be here 1 year from now, what would you say is like your top tip for coaches?
I would say my top tip, this kind of just came along like the past 2 weeks, I think for me. I've been really struggling lately, kind of like Fran said, like the past 2 months, I also didn't hit Success Club. And that was really tough for me. Like I was feeling like a failure basically. And, I still believe in myself, but, we kind of get down on ourselves. And when especially 2 months in a row, not hitting Success Club, I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? But just having that belief in myself really helped, me overcome that and not quit, keep going and working for it. But I would say my top tip is that to stop looking for people like just to sign coaches up. Like anybody who is like remotely interested in coaching, not just being like, okay, like you should sign up right now. Like actually taking time and letting them know like what it entails, that it's going to be hard work. It's not, it's not something that's easy. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And really just, getting them on board if they're truly ready and it's something that they really want to do. So not just signing coaches up. And I understand like you're going to have the discount coaches, et cetera, to rank advance. And there are some people who just want Shakeology or just want the discount. But I think like looking for those gold ships right off the bat and looking for people who are like you, kind of like Fran was talking about. Lately I've been kind of struggling with that too. So because I'm just really looking for a really good coach on my weak leg right now. So I think that would be one of my biggest tips, is to look for those gold ships and those people that want to run with you right off the bat.
Yeah, that's great. And be patient with the conversations with them. You know, I think if you're like constantly just trying to sign up anybody and you're like really aggressive with trying to sign up coaches, you might sign up some, but probably not the ones that you want. And the ones that you want, you're probably going to scare away doing that. So that's great. But I guess it worked for Amy, even when they're like generic invites back then. Cool. So that's a great top tip. What would you say is like the biggest thing that's had the biggest impact? One thing, I guess. Or something that you heard.
Yeah, I think that, well, definitely, like you guys were saying, to be here 1 year from now, that hit me right off the bat, because I think I watched like one of the past team calls right when I signed up as a coach, and that like hit me hard right away. Like I already had the belief, but I was like, okay, no matter what, I'm doing this. I'm going to be here a year from now. If I'm not here a year from now, then I didn't give it a fair chance. So but then along with Summit and just seeing all the top coaches and seeing other coaches who struggled and are pretty much in the same boat as me, and just talking with the team, I think that was probably the thing that had the biggest impact to me.
Awesome. Very good.
Hey, Pat,
Yeah.
we have to, since we had Allie and Francesca speak, they have to know that their coach, Amy, took a full 3, maybe 4 years before she signed up as a coach.
5.
5. Force-fed Shakeology for 5 years with a family that was doing Beachbody. So, you know,
Yeah.
you never know who the gold ship is.
Sometimes the people that have to watch you the longest that end up being the one of the best.
And one other tip is that a lot of people think, oh, I'm looking for that gold chip. A lot of times you have to develop the gold chip. You know what I mean? You don't just sign up a gold chip. You kind of it's underneath the surface, and then you bring it out, and it can take time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's that's why you got to give this business more than a full year a lot of times, because sometimes it's going to take the coaches that you want a year of them watching you before they become a coach, and then it takes them a year to get the momentum. So really the big results in this business come like 2 years, or, you know, I like Francesca's be here 5 years from now. And nice product placement, by the way, there, Mom. That was great. A little Shakeology in the background. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Allie. That was great. You'll be here 1 year from now. You'll be doing this call all by yourself, I'm sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you again. That was great. We're going to hopefully have some time for questions at the end for you guys. All right. How about Leanna, also known as Fanny L or Fanny Lee? Is Fanny Lee on the call?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fanny Lee in the house. So Fanny Lee, at Summit, she made me wear this just fanny pack. I don't know why that was my gift.
I didn't even really have to make you. I want to point that out.
Yeah, I wanted to. It was so nice.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long you been a coach? All that.
So my real name is Leanna Hergenrader, but I love FannyLee, so give it to me.
Hergenrader. How do you spell that last name? Hergenrader?
Oh my God, it's Hergenrader. You'll never get it right or remember it, so don't even bother.
All right.
I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Amy Morgan is my sponsor coach, as well as my sister-in-law. She's married to my oldest brother. So I've seen her journey since she started as just a customer and then became a coach. And she definitely tested me in her warm market, but it didn't work for a long time. I thought I was pretty dead set on my ways. And, my story is that I have almost 4 years of sustained active recovery from eating disorders. So when I found fitness that worked for me, which is mainly weightlifting, I stuck with it. And so she would come to me with like certain programs, and I'd be like, no, that just doesn't sound like it's for me. But in February of earlier this year, I was stuck in a funk with a job, and I had left a job that I really loved to chase something else, and it ended up being terrible, and I hated it. And she said, listen, you're in a rut with your job, and it led to a rut in my fitness. She said, just try the 21 Day Fix Extreme and just give it a shot. I still to this day think that pushing the fact that you can get a refund is really important. And so she kind of did that too, like, you don't like it, whatever, get your money back. And I immediately fell in love. I mean, the workouts were fun because when I wasn't motivated, they gave me something, but also it's more of this community that has meant a lot to me. And I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of other, companies in the fitness industry. But so I've been a coach since the day before Valentine's Day, actually. And my success has definitely fluctuated up and down, which is a direct result of whether or not I have participated in my 3 daily vitals. So I had hit a rough patch and gone down back to coach, but in about a week, I'll have my emerald rank back. And then I set a financial goal of 500 monthly income by the end of the month. But as far as rank, I definitely just want to shoot for by my 1 year mark to be diamond. Trying to like create realistic goals so that I can achieve them rather than fall short and get discouraged and continue this pattern of kind of falling under.
I'm writing that down. February 13th. Diamond.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had it written down somewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to regret it and love it all at the same time.
Awesome. Cool. So what would you say would be like your top tip to yourself, or just your top tip to any coach in general?
My top tip of what I feel like has really worked, my top tip for myself as well as other people is just to not be a salesperson. When I first started out, I'm sure this is sometimes the case for other people as well, but I wanted to do only copy and pasting. I think that our documents are really important and they're a way to make this easier because this is hard work. But I did like too much copy and pasting. My posts weren't my own. They weren't relatable to me in my life. And I felt like, I think whenever you try to be a salesperson, you're not going to keep your heart in it because I don't really know anyone that enjoys being a salesperson. So the more that I just kind of shared openly, like if I even take a picture of me working out, I have more of a response from that than if I post, like a meme with somebody working out. And it doesn't even have to be a video. It can just be a photo. And I'll get such a better response on Instagram or Facebook. By just like sharing my story, I reached some of my warm market without even actually messaging them and reaching out to them. I had a lot of people message me that have either started the process of building a relationship with me or are actual customers of mine. So, my top tip is don't be like every other person. I mean, there's over 200 some thousand people that are, trying to work this business. My top tip is don't be a salesperson, be yourself, share your journey. And that way, people will have trust in you and want to build that relationship with you.
Awesome. That is great. Okay. So, along this journey of becoming a coach and now being a coach for the last 6 to 8 months, was there like one thing that happened or one thing you heard that's had like the biggest impact on your growth personally or your business?
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier to a group message that I had a Star Wars quote, and I hope you can all bear with me.
A what?
Because this is what impacted my business the most.
What is it, a Star Wars quote?
Yeah.
Okay.
My main man Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. And this has been completely impactful on the way that I handle my business and actually look at it. Pat and I talked the other day about looking at it as a job, the way that I separate this from like, oh, I'll get it done today. Maybe I can make money for my Shaco this month or whatever. The way that I had to stop treating it that way, which in turn led me to not do things on a daily basis, was I can't just try. To me, trying is kind of like the bottom of the barrel. It's not terrible, but it's not putting forth action and work. So I can't try anymore. I have to do the work. You know, everybody's heard actions speak louder than words. So that was the biggest thing for me is anytime you put in a half measure or you work half effort at something, your results are going to be a direct result of that. And you know, I actually do work at a job that I like, again, but it's not my passion. So I don't want to be stuck somewhere that's just good enough. You know, like I want to chase my passion. And for me, that is fitness because of how it, you know, mentally and physically changed my life. And I get to do that because I'll be here for as long as I possibly can because I truly want what we're offering people. It's not even just about me wanting to share it and give it with them. I want it, you know?
That's awesome. Cool. So this do or do not, there is no try.
Yeah.
Yoda. Of course,
Yeah.
I like it. So
make
like
sure you quote him on that.
Yeah, I have to. He's probably watching. So did that happen at a certain point for you? Like, or did you kind of have that mindset on day one when you became a coach?
I feel like I thought I did. Because I was excited to share fitness, and I was excited, but I don't think I had the mindset of do work. I think I thought it would just kind of fall into my lap, and like most things in life, that's just not how it happens. So it was actually more recently, just starting the October Dash to Diamond group, I kind of got back into the groove of I need to really put an effort in every single day if I want to see something come out of this. And so it's really just been kind of like kicking me back in gear. You know, I made sure when we started that group, I had been knocked back down to coach level, and I was about to become, like I hadn't even had the money to pay my business fee, and just getting involved in that group again really kicked me back, and I caught up on a lot of things I needed to pay. So I guess it was more recent. I thought my head was fully in it, and I would say things like, I'm all in, but my actions weren't matching those words.
You were trying, you weren't doing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see like what kind of team you build with. I'm sure they're going to have some like sweet tattoos and cool tats and talk about cool
No, we're actually totally against tattoos on my team, so.
Oh, sure. Sure. Well, thank you very much. Round of applause for Fannie Lee.
Fannie P.
And we're going to save some time for questions at the end if you can stick around. All right, so we got two more. Is Alicia Falling on the call?
I'm here.
Awesome. Alicia, okay, do you mind just kind of telling us a little bit about where you're from, who you are, and who your coach is?
Yeah, I'm from Seattle. My coach is Trip.
Trip. Awesome. Cool. So, and how long have you been a coach?
Since the end of May.
Great. And so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have lost 70 pounds doing Beachbody programs. I did T25, and I've been doing 21 Day Fix Extreme for a couple months now.
Nice. You're in the military, right?
No, not me.
Okay.
No.
And so what about, tell us a little bit about like how long you followed Trip before you decided to become a coach.
Well, actually, Trip found me on Instagram, and I have two coaches in my family. I have a cousin on each side of my family that were both trying to get me to become coaches. And I was like totally apprehensive about it. I was like, it's just like a pyramid scheme. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. And then Trip found me on Instagram, and he like convinced me to do it, and I'm so glad that I chose him as my coach. I mean, he's been so awesome. He's like been my biggest supporter through all this. He's like the reason why I'm still doing this, basically. So
Rip. Yeah,
I
I don't doubt that. What?
I think went with one of my. I don't think I would still be doing this. Like, he's just been awesome. So.
Well, we're gonna get you to the point where you want to do this for yourself. All right, that's my goal. And
yeah. Definitely. I mean, this. I definitely want to do this for myself, but he's been there to support me the whole time, and it's been great. And this whole team has just been awesome. So I just love being a part of this team, and I couldn't imagine like being a part of another team.
You wouldn't
like,
want to be.
It's just.
So besides being able to hang out with Trip and talk to Trip every day, what's your top tip for a coach?
My top tip would definitely be you have to be consistent. Like my first 3 months I got Success Club, so I got my ticket to Summit, but then in September I totally did not do anything. I did not do anything. I was just tired of hearing no. I was like, I can't do this. All I get is no all the time. And then at the beginning of October, I was just like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I have to do this. Like, I want this so bad. Like, you're being stupid, Alicia. Like, do this. And I kind of finally got that no. When people say no, it doesn't mean no forever. It's just no right that second. Like, I had a girl message me the other day, and I've been talking to her since I started coaching, and the whole time she's been like, I have a job, no. And she just messaged me the other day, and she's like, I lost 20 pounds and I gained it all back. When can I order my challenge back? And I'm like, sweet. You know, like, you have to be consistent.
So
like, you have to do your invites everything. You have to follow up with people. I mean, you just have to.
Consistency, baby. Trip's taught you well. Okay, great. And then, besides that being your top tip, what, like, because you said you struggled a little bit with, you like crushed Success Club your first 3 months, got your ticket to Summit for free, and then fell off a little bit. Yeah. Your consistency kind of fell off the consistency train. What would you say, like, is something that happened or you heard or that helped you the most in this business? What's like the one thing that's had the biggest impact?
The thing that's helped me the most is having an awesome coach that pushes me to do things that I would not normally do. Like, getting on this call right now and talking was so absolutely terrifying to me. Like, Trip messaged me this morning and was like, I want you to. Bully?
He's always like pushing people to like do things they don't want to do, trying to get them out of their comfort zone. What a bully Trip is. But it's good. It's real good. He knows what he's doing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. He messaged me this morning and was like, hey, I want you to talk on the team call tonight. And I did not message him back for 2 hours. I was just like, I have to think about this. I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't want to be the person that backs out. Can I really do this? And I was just like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to do it. Like, I have to. Like, I am so tired of being the shy person, and I'm so tired of backing out of things, and I have anxiety. I was so freaking nervous getting on this call, and I'm so proud of myself for being on here right now and talking to you guys.
I wouldn't have done it. There was no way my first year as a coach I wasn't going to get on a Zoom call. So you're more brave than I was. Seriously, I'm serious. I wouldn't get on. I used to not get on team calls. When I was on when I signed up, the coaches I signed up with, I wouldn't get on the calls. I didn't want to have to introduce myself. So that's good, and the cool thing is you're going to want to do this again and you get better at it. It's just like everything else in life. You do it, you're doing amazing right now your first time, and you're going to get better and better even so. So that's awesome. So I would say you're not letting fear hold you back anymore, which is cool. And you got Trip,
well, and having
this team to help you. Sorry, but I just think that's really cool.
Having this team to support me too has just been awesome. before I got on the call and everything, like I had so many people messaging me from the team just saying, you're going to do awesome. You're so great. And like, that just like totally pumped me up. And I love that feeling that being on this team gives me. Like, everybody's just been so supportive. Nobody's competitive with each other. Like, everybody's just there for each other. And I love that.
I hear you. That's one thing we overlook about this. Financial opportunity, amazing. Opportunity to help others, amazing. The product's amazing. But how about just being able to surround yourself with a bunch of positive, supportive people? That's going to make you a happier person. It's just kind of how it works. And I think that's such a cool thing we get to be a part of. So Alicia, thank you very much. We got 9 minutes left. That was awesome. I would not have guessed that was your first time talking on a Zoom call. Thank you. I'm going to try to save some time for questions at the end, but we got my cousin Chris. I think Chris is on. I think he had practice. I don't know if he made it on here on time. Is Christopher Bachlet here?
I'm here there, Pat. Made it.
Great.
Can't miss my debut. Pumped.
Chris Bachlet, Mr. 32, 34 Success Club points last month. Killing it. Chris, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Chris. I'm Pat's cousin. I've been a Beachbody coach for 2 years. But honestly, in the beginning, I was just a coach to go to the events, kind of being Pat's plus one. Team Boom likes to play hard and party hard, and I was just kind of more of the party hard, enjoying myself. And then the joke, I became the 1-star Emerald, and that was like the run-on joke. And I realized that I needed time to make some changes here and step it up. So the biggest thing that I think I made was just a few different changes, and I think the first one was my attitude, in terms of not being shy to say I'm a Beachbody coach. And, putting that first. I used to say, I'm a pro lacrosse player first or lacrosse coach now. Someone asked me what I do. I'm not afraid. I'm an online health and fitness coach, and just to go making that my number one, because that's, where I want it to be. And so that was a huge change. Along with that change was the posts. I saw everyone just, posting 3 times a day. And I was a little bit shy to put myself out there, say I'm running health and fitness groups, or say anything about what I'm doing as a Beachbody coach. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go for it and just put myself out there. And I have. And the one thing, I just moved to Austin. When I was moving, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to post as much. And so I set up a Hootsuite, so I was posting 3 times a day. And that was huge for me, just to constantly be out there. I was kind of the guy that was there and I disappeared, and I was there and I disappeared. And so now my goal is just to constantly be there, be consistent, with my posts. Another change I made was my office. I didn't have any little office. I created a little Beachbody, my little home. And I printed a couple of things that I have here. I printed out the daily, the Power Hour. So this was a bad Monday that I had. And early on when I printed this out, I tried to check everything off. And I spent, 2-3 hours doing stuff. And by the time I got to it, I realized I only checked off 3 things. So this kind of helped me realize that, there's a lot more to do. And so I have this every day. I printed out 80 of these things, and I'm just checking them off. I'm doing that.
Where do you get those?
I think someone posted in the group. I just printed it off and cut it out. So that was just consistency for me. And then invites. I just with, I used I actually, to be honest, I haven't really hit my warm market yet. I used Instagram, and I looked up things that lacrosse hashtags and things like that, and just wasn't afraid to reach out to people. And I invited, I remember Amy saying she was inviting 100 people a day. I was inviting, close to that, just constantly inviting people. and then following up, which is key. I mean, today kind of cracked me up. I posted in the group. I reached out to someone 2 years ago about T25 challenge, and they got back to me today asking me about the 21-day fix, saying, I've been watching you for a while. What's the deal with this challenge? I'm like, I was kind of really pumped to hear that. I was like, damn, like these posts, so people are watching. And so those kind of changes have just have been huge.
Awesome. I bet that person that said they've been watching you probably never liked or commented on anything, but they were watching.
Never.
I wrote down, fuck it. That was my big takeaway, because I think that's, I think we all go through that too, but like guys even more so, because we have maybe a bigger ego, and we like don't want our buddies to like make fun of us and give us shit for it. So like, I was going to ask you like, what was like the big turning point or had like the biggest impact, but I would ask you like, what made you decide to just kind of fuck it and like stop worrying about what other people think and just like go for it?
I just realized, you know what, look, this is a job where you can do it anywhere you want, do it anywhere. I love to travel. I want to move around. I don't want to be in a cubicle. I've moved 3 states in 3 years, moved 3 times in 3 years to 3 different cities. No other job can you consistently be building something that's just not going to be taken away from you. And I love that aspect. And so I love helping people, seeing them results, and I see how rewarding this company how it is, and it's not going anywhere. So I said, fuck it. I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this from 3 years from now, 10 years from now. This is what I want to be doing. And then, just been kind of owning it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's great. Stop worrying about what other people think. And the funny thing is, like, those people you worried about what they were going to think, they're going to end up joining you. It's so funny to see. It's cool. All right, we got 3 minutes. Who's got questions for these guys? How about a round of applause for these emerging leaders? Chris, thanks for racing back from practice to hop on here and share your top stuff with us. I think you might have said, I don't know if that was a Team Boom record. If it wasn't, it was very close. I think it might have been 34 successful points in a month. So that's
Pat, that's my question. How did Chris get 34 success points?
Yeah. What's the secret?
You can't hold that back. Accountability partner.
You know what? One of the other things I had was a mouse pad. Like, we do a lot of copy pasting. Like, I'm just like I'm going through invites just constantly. And then when I went away from the script, I had a lot of trouble. When I stuck to the script, knowing that it works and constantly putting people through it, I made a lot of different conversations. Fuck it too, Emily. Remember that. Fuck it.
So your ratio of invites just went up, is what you're saying?
I went all in, and I invited people every single day.
Go big or go home.
And you probably and you were doing follow-ups every day, so it wasn't like you're following up a week or 2 weeks later. You'd follow up 2 days later. So you'd stay on top of it.
So the other thing too is that that Amy had is the Google spreadsheet. So when I now have everyone. So when they say no, like I'm not ready right now, I'll ask when is a better time, and I'll find it and I'll always write it down. And the other thing I always make sure I get out of every single person I talk to is their goals or like what they're trying to achieve. So when I come back 2 months later, I'm like, hey, are you still weighing 95 pounds and looking to get to 165? Do we still have this issue? Because I can help you. Let's do this together.
Yeah, that's huge.
You get them.
I got that little Google Doc going too. That's great. With little notes.
Just follow Amy's lead and you'll win.
Similar to your notes. Great.
I don't know if I would say, are you still weighing 185?
Yeah, I mean, that's... Hey.
I saw your picture at Thanksgiving. You look like you hit your goal.
Oh, man.
Do you actually say that, Chris? Yes? No?
I just say, are you still trying to reach this goal? And, have you made any progress? And, I make it like a team effort. Like, hey, listen, I remember this goal because I wrote it down. But it's like I'm trying to get these people where they want to be. and just focusing on that, and it's worked.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to like remind people of their own goals. It's crazy, but it's true. Awesome. Anybody else have a question for any of our emerging leaders? I would say they're at this point leaders. Anybody? I think we got time for one more or two. If you guys got to leave, it's 9:00 on the East Coast here. You guys can start dropping off whenever you got to drop off. We can maybe stick around a few more minutes for the rest of us, but.
Pat?
Yeah.
I have it's not really a question, but I thought Chris could mention what he's doing in his challenge group right now. That's pretty amazing. There's so much activity in there. He's got a mix of all different types of ages of people, men and women, young and old, mom and dads, everything. But Chris, you started off with what? Do you remember your video? I think the people.
Well, I made sure I made the challenge group a competition between, saying there's a prize in the end, who's posting the most. I post I post videos of myself in the beginning, introducing myself. What is there like something that I'm missing?
No, you had the hat on. I just think it helped people because you had the first video, then you put on a fun hat before how making it fun, and these people are putting their before pictures in there. They really trust you because whatever you're doing, it's great in there. It's fun, but they're trusting and they're posting away. There's a lot going on in there. So I think they've gained your trust, and I think you've got some magic going on in there. Pretty cool. Once he committed, he's all in. It's nice to see.
What are you doing in your challenge group to like get the participation up?
I'll just, before the challenge even starts, I'll just reach out to each person and be like, hey, this is the way we keep track. This is the competition. And everyone's just pretty competitive. And so they want to be a part of it. And I'll just be, I'll make sure that, they're posting in the group. But like my mom said, in the beginning, I had like a Halloween hat on. I'm just posting myself and making sure they know that I'm right there with them doing it too.
Cooking the squash, seeing you cooking squash and fish and all kinds of good stuff. So
yeah, just trying to make it like a team, like bring out team chemistry. And it's crazy. It's like these people are correcting each other in the group, like helping each other out in the group. So it's definitely some really good energy.
How do you make it a competition?
I just said in the beginning that whoever posts the most is going to receive a prize, and I'll probably give them in the last thing. I'll give them like a Fixate book or something like that.
Nice.
It does help when you have like 20 people in your. I'm not gonna like 20 people in your group. It's just more people posting.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I like it. Anybody else have any questions for any of the emerging leaders? No question.
Chris, I have a question for you. What was your aha moment that made you flip the switch? Besides, I know you like traveling and all that, but what was your aha moment?
Because you were in and out.
You were in and out.
I think I just kind of believed in this event, and it took me a long time, and going to all these events and seeing everything, being like, oh, could I do it? Do I want to do it? And then realize the potential is kind of through the roof with this business. It's just, it's to the potential's to the moon. Like, and I just love the fact that, since I graduated, I created my own lacrosse business, and I didn't go work for someone else. I love having a business for yourself, and like what you put into is what you get out of it. And so I kind of love that aspect. Like you're not working for someone else. You're building, something completely for yourself. So, but if you are up till 4 a.m. working on it, like that stuff's just gonna, pay out in the end. And learning that you just got to stick with this thing. And if you think you're gonna get, one thing I do is I don't even look at my bank account that's attached to my Bank of America. It's my Beachbody bank account. It's a whole other thing. I don't even stare at it or look at it because I know that soon, I mean, not right now, but if I keep doing what I'm doing, that's going to grow. And if I'm worried about, trying to get something out of this and really make money early on, it's just not kind of how this business works.
Well said.
It's fun being your own boss, isn't it? Having your own business. I mean, you want to put the hours in when you own your own business. I mean, when I owned my own business, I'd work 8, 70 hours, whatever it took, because I enjoyed it. So you have your own business, and once you get this thing rocking, which it looks like you are, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
I took a little shot before doing this call to get the nerves out. My face is like.
Took a what?
Took a little shot of tequila.
I'm
nervous. I'm a Harlem speaking.
I saw him
That's
pacing around.
Loosen up a little bit.
He's
That's okay.
pacing around. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
That's fun. Everyone else.
Anybody else have any questions for the rest of the crew? Manny, Lee, Allie, Megan, Francesca, Alicia, Chris. Anybody? No? If you do, you know where to find them. They're on Facebook. You can blow up their inbox. Cool. All right. Thanks, you guys. One last round of applause. We'll give you guys a little boom on 3, and we're out of here. All right? Get you guys unmuted. Whoa. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thanks, guys. That was awesome. You have the